Good evening, Friartown. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for a conversation with football great Rob Gronkowski. We hope you and your families are safe and healthy at home. But I want to start off tonight to thanking a great friend of the Friar family, Brett Rodman, who made this special night happen. Brett, thank you so much for all you do for PC.
Oh, no, thanks for having me, Naps. And it's always been a pleasure working with you. And, you and I go way back about 10 years now. And, PC's been great to my family. I had two kids that went through there, my son, Jordan, and my daughter, Lexi. And I got my younger daughter, Olivia, going through. And it's been a pleasure working with you. And the day we met, we hit it off pretty well. So always look forward to doing things with you and Gronk.
Well, Rod, I can tell you on behalf of President Father Sicard, Athletic Director Bob Driscoll, John Sweeney, we're grateful for our relationship and what you do for PC.
You're welcome.
So excited, though, Gronk. It's been a crazy year for everyone. And our PC students and members of the Friar family, we're trying to do something fun. So to have you join us, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, man. And it is a pleasure because, Brett just doesn't help out PC. He also helps me out. My car, actually, the other day, I left the roof open, the rooftop open, and it rained, and then I got soaked. The seats soaked, everything soaked. So my whole car was drenched. And what did? I dropped it right off at Rodman Ford. What do? 2 days later, it was dropped off, and it was better than brand new. So if you ruin your car, bring it to Rodman Ford, and it comes back better than brand new. So thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Gronk,
yes,
buddy.
No problem.
Well, Gronk, getting this done today, you can get a new car every week on Brett. So that's part of doing this for us today.
Yes.
So thank you, Rodman Ford, for doing that.
For doing it for you, I get a new car from Brett. Oh, this is a great deal.
Sounds good to me.
So, Gronk, coming off another Super Bowl victory, can you give the Friar family just kind of how you're feeling and what it was like after that win?
It was unbelievable. And just, winning my fourth Super Bowl, going to a new team, coming out of retirement, meeting back up with Tom, going to Tampa, whole different atmosphere, total 180 from everything, organization, from weather, to just, just how the teams run, to, the winning atmosphere, going to Tampa. They haven't been to the playoffs since 07, being with New England, been to the playoffs like 30 years in a row or how many every years. It was just a total 180. And it was just an unbelievable experience. And just winning another Super Bowl just was so real. It was just crazy, just bringing the title to Tampa Bay. Fans were going crazy down there. I was actually driving home from the game, and there's a gas station, just filled of cars and people, and they're all on the gas, the gas station, I don't know what they're called, where you pump the gas pumps, they're on top of them, and they were celebrating. People had their music going. People were rocking out. They had the gas thing swinging around like that, like just taking over. Cops everywhere, just letting it all go. So it was definitely a crazy atmosphere. It was a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication for sure, week in and week out.
Gronk, the world's going through a crazy time during the pandemic. Coming out of retirement, having that year off and coming in, can you give our Friar family a little thought process as how you got mentally and physically ready to come back and have an unbelievable year and win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I didn't really do anything when I was retired. I didn't play any football at all, but I played a lot of sports. I just love staying busy. I love just doing activities. I was playing volleyball. I was shooting hoops. I was even putting the rollerblades on. Sometimes I would go back home to Buffalo, play some ice hockey. I was basically doing everything besides football. So, I was still, my cardio was still there. I was still in pretty good shape. I would lift every once in a while. I would get treatment on my body still because it feels good to feel good. And then, when I came back and came out of retirement and got traded, I still haven't done anything football wise. I was just banking on myself. Like, okay, I know I'm still in shape, but it'll just take a couple weeks. And then that's when I really started kicking it back in the gear. It was about May, June, and July. Just going back out on the field, going down to Tampa, meeting up with the guys, running routes, doing the football type stuff. And it just all came back like that, which was cool. I don't see why it wouldn't have, because I've been playing football my whole life. As long as I'm still in shape, football will always bounce back pretty quick.
And Rob, a lot of our students, especially during this time, have struggled mentally. What advice can you give them as you went through that to stay strong mentally during tough times and really, as you just said, stay positive, keep it fun, and move forward.
Yes, I would, this is one of the advices I've always given. I mean, it's like, it's kind of runs through my blood, my family's blood, is to stay active. That's just, a big part of it. If stay active out in the community, stay active with your friends, go out, even if you're not, the best athlete or you don't really know what sport you want to do, just go out and have some fun. Go for a walk in the park, go just run around. But just staying active, I think, is one of the biggest key ingredients to, keeping a positive attitude. I've done it before, of sitting on the couch for a week straight, and I start going mind crazy. Like, if you're not doing anything, I basically say you're dying. Like, you're not living. So just stay active, stay positive, and just keep looking forward to something, in your life. And just, if you're bored or whatever, call up a friend, go find a dog, go run in the park, do something, get the blood flowing, get those endorphins flowing, and things will start picking up from there.
I love that, because when you talk to students, when you talk to alum, everyone has their own issues. And I was reading last night in Forbes, you did a great article, and your motto was keep it simple.
Yes.
Have fun and keep it simple. Can you kind of tell everybody how you came up with that?
Yes. The keep it simple part, I've just been, loaded, many times in my life with a lot of things like, oh, I'm flying over there to do that, flying over there to do that. I've lived that life. It's called like the fast life. And, it kind of, starts, putting a mental toll on yourself. You're trying to do everything, you're trying to please everyone. It gets tough. It's hard to live like that. And, also like gifts too. Everyone wants to send you gifts. So then I'm at my house. I have a million gifts all the way up to my house. I'm like, I walk in the door every time. I'm like, man, what am I going to do with these gifts? So I just start giving all the gifts away. I'm like, I'm going to keep it simple. I want like just 5 pair of boxers, 5 pair of socks, 2 shorts. I'll wear them every day. I don't care. A t-shirt. I need my Providence, my Providence ice hockey jersey. And, I just got to keep it simple. I feel like when everything is just a mess, and it's just cluttered, like you're cluttered then. And so just keep it simple, I feel like, and keep it fun, keep it positive. And I feel like that's the way to roll. And for example, I went down to Tampa. I rented a condo this year. And my mom and I, we were putting, the beds together and everything, and we're going out shopping. I mean, you got to get some things for the condo, but our motto was less is more. So we weren't trying to buy like, a whole lot of things for my condo. We were just trying to get a couple plants, a couple pictures. And then when we felt like we were getting like, okay, should we get that? Or should we get that? Should we get that? And we looked at each other like, nope, we shouldn't. Less is more.
I absolutely love that. I think that's such a great lesson for our students and for all of us in life. This pandemic's told us to really appreciate the smaller things and focus on what really makes you happy.
Yes, big time.
So absolutely love that. And, one of the things that I've always admired about, Rob, knowing you for 10 years now with Brett, is no matter who you're around, you're you. You make it fun. You make everybody feel like $1 million if it's, someone you just don't know, or if it's someone you do know. What advice, how have you been able to stay humble and really just keep it so you are who you are?
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just how I've been since the beginning. There's sometimes, I'm not really humble. I've kind of learned the lessons in my life, actually. Like, I start getting a little bit too cocky when I was younger or something. And then I always get trounced with something. Like I always get, the payback of when I'm not humble. I would say I learned that lesson at a very young age in like high school, when you start acting, too good for someone, too good for, what you're doing. And then it always comes back on you times 10, So I definitely learned that lesson growing up when I was younger, and also just being around my family too. My dad, he's a humble guy, and he's just always worked. Same with my mom. They always just put the work in and just kept going. And, you definitely deserve the praise when you deserve the praise, but, also at the same time, just stay humble about it and not just, get overboard too much. So, you just got to keep working, keep putting your head down. And, if you're balling out and you're getting the accolades, I mean, people are going to recognize you, no matter what. You don't really got to sell yourself also at the same time. So just ball out, just work hard, and people will recognize you. People will give you those accolades. So that's how I kind of lived with the motto too, is that, if I just keep working hard, people will see it. And if they don't see it, I just got to keep working hard. And people will recognize that. People always will recognize hard work, and if you're doing it the right way too.
You referenced your family, and a lot of people like to ask this, is you came from parents who were great athletes, your grandfather and 4 brothers who were all great athletes. What was that like growing up in that type of family? Is the competition at incredible levels?
Yeah, it was actually what I give, thanks to many times. And that's why I started the Gronk Nation Youth Foundation, because I had such a great childhood. I give much credit to my childhood, to my success now these days, because I got 3 older brothers, 1 younger brother, and we grew up on a street where my 3 older brothers had like 5 friends each, and I had 5 friends each on the street, and then my little brother had 5 friends each, and then we had the house that was just the mayhem house, the house that, all the activities went down at. There was backyard baseball, we had mini sticks in the basement, we had basketball outside, right on the driveway, football in the backyard, you name it, we had it. And just growing up, it was nonstop every single day. My brother's friends would be over. I would be competing versus, kids that were 2-3 years older than me every single day. And I'm talking about, like, we would be competing. There'd be battles every day. There'd be fights every day. I'd be fighting with my brothers. And if we didn't have friends over, I had my brothers. So every single day I was competing. I was like a wolf out there, I would be, whenever the food would get on the table, it's, you're free. It's a free for all. So, there was really no rules in the house. Like, my brothers would be grabbing at the food, so I would have to grab at the food. So I learned at a young age, and I took my beatings. For real, I took my beatings as a kid. And that's what, I contribute to a lot of my success, was just, installing that competitiveness in me at such a young age, and taking all the hits and the beatings that I took at a young age to, like, where sometimes I couldn't even feel my legs anymore because they would give me so many Charlie horses. So then when I get tackled, like right there, they're like, Rob, they just bounce off you. I'm like, oh, it's from all those Charlie horses growing up as a kid. But it was mayhem. I love my childhood. It was unbelievable.
Obviously, we're fired up. You're wearing our Friar hockey jersey. Coach Lehman, I know when we talked before, huge hockey fan growing up. Give the fans, all the sports that you played, and kind of how football became your love.
Yeah, so I played hockey since I was a young age, I don't know, 5-6 years old. Same with baseball, like when you can start at T-ball. And then I started basketball like in 7th grade, and then I started football in 7th grade also. But baseball and hockey were my 2 main sports that I started at a very young age. And I love playing hockey. Hockey was my favorite sport growing up as a kid. Me and my best friends were always on the same team growing up. But I actually stopped playing hockey in 9th grade when I started playing basketball for the high school, because it was just too much to play four sports for a school and then 2 of them were overlapping. That would have been just too much. So I actually stopped playing hockey in 9th grade, but I played those 4 sports just growing up, and I just love playing the different sports. I don't really believe in just one sport. A lot of people these days, like, oh, my kid's just gonna just play this, like, from 6 years old on. But I don't really believe in that. Like, I believe in just playing them all. Getting the feel of everything, because what you can do in basketball can contribute and translate to what you can do in football too. There's a lot of skill sets that you can learn from other different sports. You can learn how the body's used in other different sports and translate it to another sport that you love. So I just say play them all. Play all the sports that you love growing up. And then when you find the one that you love, and that was mine. Mine was football. I knew that when I was in about 11th grade. But I still love playing the other sports because I had all my friends on it. It's activities. It gives me something to do. But football, I always knew was my love since I was a junior in high school, 11th grade. I just knew it was going to be football. I was just the ideal size of a tight end. I was 6'6", like 230. It just was meant to be.
So when you go back to those days, Gronk, when you're thinking as a young boy in your neighborhood, then in high school, to today, when you think about you're arguably the greatest tight end ever to play in the NFL, could you ever even imagine thinking about what you've accomplished back in those days?
I imagined it definitely, because I do believe in that. You want to see yourself, making it and everything, but I did not imagine it to this level. Not a chance. I definitely pictured myself getting to the pros. I said it many times through high school. My friends and I, we'd all joke, "Yo, Rob, when you make it big, you're going to remember our names." And I mean, I still remember my friends to Zach T that always said that to me. And I have always, like, in practice and stuff, like, we would always joke around, like, "Man, when I make it big, I ain't going to know who you are anymore." Just messing around, but just always picturing in my head. But you got to do that. You got to like manifest of where you're going to see yourself in the future, if that's what that you really want to do. And I knew I really wanted to be a pro athlete, so I always talked about it. I always imagined it, and I just never imagined it to this stage. 4 Super Bowls, going on year 12, coming to New England, playing here in one of the best organizations in the world for 9 seasons. I did not imagine this type of career, but I definitely did picture myself in high school and growing up that I was going to make it to the pros and have a successful career. I just didn't know it was going to boom like this, which is nice.
Well, it's funny. I look at your stats, Rob, and they really are incredible. Is when you look at the Super Bowl championships, the receiving touchdowns, the yards, the yards per catch, second all time to Jerry Rice in Super Bowl touchdowns ever.
Yeah, he's got 7, right? I got 5. I'm coming for you, Jerry. And he's beating me in touchdowns too in playoffs.
Yeah,
he's number 1. I'm number 2.
I think he's 22 and you're 12.
He's got a lot. He's got 7 Super Bowl TDs. I got 5, so I got to play a little bit longer. He played till like 42. So
keep
Jerry,
it going,
I'm coming
you're looking
for you.
good, Rob. We got you going. So, is it one though that you look at and you say, "Wow," you're even like, "Wow, that is special." I'm blown away that I'm able to do that.
Actually, yeah, this year in the Super Bowl, just to see those stats, to be second behind Jerry Rice in touchdowns in the Super Bowl. I mean, and then also to be second behind Jerry Rice in touchdown receptions by a receiver in just playoff history. It's pretty incredible, because growing up, I mean, I was, obviously Jerry Rice was the guy, and he was the guy for so long. And on top of it, it's not like I'm a receiver. I'm playing tight end, and I'm second behind him. So that's what I feel like. That's like what really hit me. I'm like, man, like, it's Jerry Rice. He's the only one in front of me with all these playoff touchdowns, and he's a receiver, and like, he played like, for how many years? So it's pretty incredible. That one definitely hit me, and I just got to keep going if I want to catch him. That's all.
Well, this is awesome that you're doing this, Gronk. And, we've included our PC students to send some questions in. So we're going to have some fun with this.
All right, let's do it.
Daniel O'Brien asked you've had the opportunity to play with the GOAT your whole life.
Yes.
How do you even describe what it is to play with Tom Brady?
Oh man, Daniel, definitely, I'm blessed to have the opportunity to play with him. And I would just say the best description of playing with him is just, the competitiveness, day in and day out. You just got to bring your A game every single day, because he does it every day. It's impressive. I'd never seen another player like that in my life, just to be able to bring it every single day and not be tired ever, and just be ready to go. So I don't know, whatever that word is to describe everything I just said, I would just say ultra competitor, and to the max power.
And Rob, coming out of retirement, some of the students asked here was that your main incentive when you got the call from Tom and you saw him sign? Is that what made you say, all right, it's time?
It was definitely one of the big incentives, for sure. There was a lot of things that played into it, definitely. But I would say that was definitely one of the main ones up there. But, there was like 5 things that I was looking for, to come out of retirement, because I was very satisfied where I was. I was doing things, I was staying busy and stuff, but, I definitely loved the game of football. So if it just everything lined up, which it did, so it was meant to be.
And when you are in the locker room and Tom walks in, is there a word you can put on that, what he does to every player in that locker room to elevate them to the next level?
He does elevate everyone to the next level. The word, I would just say, just kind of like a phrase is like, that's just used in a lot of sports, is just get your game face ready. Like, get ready, Basically, that's what it is, because he's always ready to go. I would say more like when you hit the field, just get your game face ready, because he's going to be bringing it. And if your quarterback, the leader of the offense, is bringing it, you got to be ready too, because he's going to be throwing you the ball, handing you off the ball. And if you're not ready, then you're going to look bad.
Michael V asked Gronk, who'd you idolize as a tight end growing up, and who do you think's the greatest tight end in the NFL right now besides you?
That's a great question. But who I idolized growing up was two tight ends, Tony Gonzalez, one of the greatest tight ends to ever play the game, and Jeremy Shockey. Now, Jeremy Shockey was my number one. And if you don't know who Jeremy Shockey was, I mean, he had a good stint in the NFL. And the stint he had was kind of like my stint in a little bit. I just loved the way that he played the game of football. I just love, that he came from the University of Miami, tight end U, at that time when the University of Miami was just producing all the products out of there, and they were just hardcore, tough football players. So Jeremy Shockey was definitely my favorite tight end while I was growing up.
I can remember Jeremy Shockey going to games at BC and watching him play, and just, unbelievable.
Ripping people's heads off.
Unbelievable.
Yes, ripping people's heads off. A legend.
Well, Mike Y asked Gronk, how did you pick the University of Arizona as your college, and was it electric to play there?
Oh, Mike, what a question. Was it electric to play there? That's what we call my house, the weight room at my house. My friend, he'd be like, I'm going to the electric factory because you'll get electric. What a word. I love that word, Mike. But my brothers were getting recruited to go play football, and I just wanted to be a part of it. So I took a couple visits with my brothers that were getting recruited because they were older than me. So I went on the visits with my dad, my brother, and he took one to the University of Arizona. And when I went and saw that campus, I was like, oh man, like this is me. Like I'm not even the one getting recruited at the moment. I was a sophomore in high school and my brother was a senior. I was like, dang, this campus is nice. Like when I'm getting recruited, I'm definitely going to bring up Arizona. And that's how it played out. Because also my dad has a friend who was an alumni at Arizona. So he told my older brother to go. So I just hopped on the trip. And then that's just how it all played out from there. Is like, I got to get to this school when it's my turn. And that's what I did. And I went to the University of Arizona, loved it. The atmosphere was electric there. It for sure was. And I actually haven't been back there for about 10 years now. And I'm actually going to go back for the first time April 24th this year, because I'm coaching the spring game of I'm going to be the coach of one of the teams, and Teddy Bruschi is going to be the other coach of the other team. So that's going to be electric. And the campus, I heard, is just unbelievable now. Like it's beautiful. It was beautiful when I was there, but like I'm talking like I heard it's like top of the line now. So I'm super excited to go back. It's been a while and it's going to be electric. I'm sure, like I'm going to make sure it is. The whole atmosphere is going to be crazy.
John Egan's interested in being your assistant coach, so we'll work on that after this, Gronk.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I need an assistant coach. I haven't hired anyone yet. Yeah, I need it.
Rods and I will be the ball boys for you, Gronk.
Why not?
So we'll
Trust
get that
me, you
done.
want to be.
We'll do that.
All over it.
Yeah, come on down. You want to be there.
Gronk, Lindsey Nugan asked a great question. Throughout your career, you've had some major injuries, and have you ever doubted yourself, or when you've been, approached with failure, how you've been able to get over that and accomplish what you've done?
Oh, I've doubted myself for sure many times, and that really, doesn't get you anywhere. And through all the injuries that I've been through and seeing other players, what they've been through and bouncing back from, I truly believe that you can really bounce back from any injury. And if you do it the right way, if you rehab the right way, if you focus the right way during the rehab, I believe that you can come back stronger too. Just for example, like, you blow out your knee. So you got to rehab your knee. And then if you do everything right, you're actually making everything around your knee stronger, and your knee's going to heal back to normal. But if you're making everything around your knee stronger, then you're going to come back stronger than you were before, because you're focusing on all the little muscles around it to make that knee just stronger overall. So if you just really focus, really have that determination that you're going to come back stronger. And no matter what what injury it is. I truly believe that you can come back from, basically anything. I mean, there's probably, don't get me wrong, there's a couple injuries that, you might not be able to come back from, but overall, the general injuries, broken, bones, knees, whatever it is, I truly believe if you just focus right, do the right things in rehab, eat healthy, eat the right way, that your body is designed to make it heal and come back stronger.
And Liam O'Hara asks the same thing, is when you go through that, what's your key to motivation every day when you wake up?
Yes. I would just say getting back out on the field, just missing the game. That's what, got me motivated when I wasn't playing, when I was out with an injury, is that I was missing the opportunity of going out there and performing. So that just motivated me right there to get back. I never really rehabbed just to rehab in my life. Like, I didn't just, not be playing a sport and been hurt. But every time I've been hurt, I've been missing out on an opportunity to perform out on the field. So that has motivated me to the max, because when I'm not out in the field and people are balling and they're winning and stuff, man, you miss it. You miss it big time. So right there on the spot, you're like, man, I got to get back. I got to keep grinding. I got to focus on what I got to do, because I don't want to miss anymore. So that's a big key right there.
I love that advice. And this goes, Christopher Azar asked, Gronk, if you were sitting in front of college students right now, what one piece of advice for success would you give them and why?
Oh, one piece of advice I would give the college students. I would say, you're young, so you really don't know, you may not know what you really want to do in life. But I would say, think of what you really love, sit down and think of what you really love. Because I never really thought about that. When I was in college, it was just sports. So I did think about it, actually, because it was sports. So I just focused on sports. But if I could go back, there'd be one, and take advantage of an opportunity, and that was being in college. I wish I could go back and say, Rob, what's one thing that you would love to do? What's one thing that will help you out in the rest of your future? And I wish I could go back and, study Spanish more. Like, Spanish is used worldwide. It's used in a lot of countries. I was at the University of Arizona. Mexico was right there. And that's one thing that would have helped me out big time throughout my life. So find one thing that you can take advantage of that will help you throughout your life, because, in college, I was just playing a sport. I was messing around, didn't really pay attention in class, did what I had to do to get by. But if I could gone back and actually take advantage of college and learn, something that would have helped me out through my whole life, it would have definitely gone back and been learning Spanish and being able to speak Spanish, just to help me out throughout my life. When you take a visit to Europe, everyone there speaks Spanish. When you go to Mexico, people speak Spanish there. You go down to Florida, a lot of Spanish people down there. I just feel like that would have helped me out throughout my life big time. So now thinking about it, I do want to learn Spanish still. And I always hit myself in the head, man, if I just learned it in college and did what I had to do and paid attention, I would already know it. So that's one big thing, is, learn something that can help you out through the future.
That's great advice, Gronk. I feel the same way. I always say to myself, I wish I was bilingual, working in sports, traveling. I just think it's great advice for every person. It just gives you such a confidence boost,
yes,
and no matter where you go. So I think that's great advice for our students. Thank you. Daisy Riley asked a great question. What's your favorite type of cereal?
Cereal. Oh, Daisy, that's a great question. I'll go with, the best tasting cereal. And it's going to be Flutie Flakes.
Love it.
You guys remember Doug Flutie? I mean, if you guys are too young, but Doug Flutie was a quarterback here in New England for a little bit, and then he came to Buffalo, and that's when I was a big Doug Flutie fan. And he came out with Flutie Flakes, and let me tell you, I used to just grab them off the shelf and just eat them every single morning. They were my favorite. He actually inspired me to come out with Gronk Flakes with the same company too.
That's right.
My second year in the NFL, but the Flutie Flakes, they were the best.
Can't forget that Hail Mary pass, one of the greatest football moments ever.
Yeah. I mean, you guys all know him. He's Boston College guy. Yeah.
Love it. Eliza Johnson, Gronk, what is your guilty pleasure snack food?
Oh, my guilty pleasure snack food. I would have to say it's definitely a chicken finger sub from Buffalo. They make the best chicken finger subs in Buffalo, hands down. And, you load it up with mayonnaise, you load it up with blue cheese, you load it up with provolone cheese, and just the spices that they have. They just make the best chicken finger subs in Buffalo, hands down.
I love it. Love it. Laura Chivas, what's your go-to pump song before every game that gets you focused and ready to play?
Oh, I like that. I don't really have a go-to pump song. This year actually in Tampa, my teammates, they were just bumping music with all those, huge boom boxes that they would have in the locker room. So whatever they had on, I was just jamming out to. But I never really been a guy that just had a go-to, music playlist or anything. I would just listen to what was on at the stadium or what was on in the locker room because, my teammates, they're all into music and they always had the best stuff. So I was never really worried about it because I always knew if I just stepped in the locker room, it'd be bumping.
I love it. Taylor Rogers, I love this question. What's your go-to Dunkin' Donuts coffee order, Gronk?
Oh, I would have to say my go-to Dunkin' Donuts coffee order would be an iced coffee with caramel swirl in it. Ooh. Yes, with almond milk. So iced coffee with almond milk and caramel swirl. Tasty.
Love it. Sophia L., orange juice or apple juice?
Oh, that's a good one because I just started getting into apple juice. But orange juice is so good too. That's a tough one because I'll go with a mixture. I'm mixing those two.
All right. I like that. Alex Lana, I like this as we were just talking. How's life as a dog dad?
That's a great question. Oh, man, that's a great question. But life as a dog dad is wonderful. My responsibilities have gone up a lot, but I love it. It has kept me busy. It has kept me humbled for sure. Just gotta, give a lot more to, another living creature than to myself, which is,
any fights between Camille and the dog and you, Gronk?
No. She's been really good with the dog too. I mean, we really don't even snuggle anymore because the dog's in the middle. So we're both snuggling the dog. We're trying to pull the dog from each other, but we both just love him so much that, I take half of the dog, she takes half of the dog, and he's right in the middle, but he's just wonderful. And, he takes, dumps everywhere, takes peas everywhere, but he's learning, and he knows when he's a bad boy, and he ducks like that, like.
Tell the fans, Gronk, what type of dog in the name?
Yes, I have a French Bulldog. I just got him. He is 3 months old right now, and his name is Ralphie Gronkowski. You can follow him on Instagram at Ralphie Gronkowski. And he's just a little puppy right now. He's about 9 pounds, and he's going to probably, they tend to range from 20 to 25 pounds. And he's a maniac. He always has the zoomies too, running around the house full speed. And he loves to take showers too and get cleaned up. Yeah, shower him at least 3 times a week.
Gronk, nothing better than being a dog owner. They love you for everything, man. They make you feel great every time you walk in that house.
No matter how bad of a day it is, they still love me.
I love it.
If I drop a pass, hey, he still loves me.
Gronk, this is a great question for student Chipper Howe. How did you get into NFTs and your love of horses?
Oh, NFTs and love of horses. Those are 2 totally different things, but I love the question. But the NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and you buy the non-fungible tokens with cryptocurrency. So I've been hearing about this cryptocurrency for, a year or 2 now, and how big it is, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all this type of money that's crypto. And I didn't really know what it was, but I just saw these, people that are in the public eye. They just started selling non-fungible tokens. They're kind of like trading cards, but they're non-tangible. They're online, and you buy them on these websites. So, my team and I, we decided to create my own NFT then, and I put them up on OpenSea. That's the platform that was selling them, and they did well. They did very well, and it was just, I was surprising, that was my first time getting into the crypto world. So now I got crypto money, and I'm all about the crypto world now. Wow. I see things going that way. There's, huge organizations, huge businesses that are starting to accept cryptocurrency now. So I'm actually glad that my foot is in that door because I feel like it's going to go that way. In the future. I mean, it's starting to already. I mean, so it's just cool to have your foot in it, just in case if it does take off even more. I'm game, baby.
Gronk, what's an NFT of Brett Rodman, Steve Knapp go for on the market?
All right, if you guys have an NFT,
Couple mil.
yeah, I would say, you know, 20 grand.
Oh, 20
Yeah,
grand.
20
Oh,
grand.
Gronk, I like this. Can we talk after this
Yeah,
one, man?
20 grand for sure.
I love it.
Here in the New England area, in the states of Rhode Island, Mass. You would have some people out there with some crypto money. Maybe I would buy it. Yeah.
Amen.
Then resell it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gronk, we're going to have a great weekend. This is going to be a great Easter,
It
Gronk.
is.
Thank you,
It
my
is.
man. Gronk, how about horses? How did you get into
Oh,
horses?
yeah, the horses. So it's kind of like another thing that fell on my plate, just like the NFTs. You know, horses, you know, I never really were into horses. I knew about horses, but like, who doesn't know about horses? But like, all of a sudden, there was a horse named after me. Like, I saw him everywhere. He was in the papers and stuff that this horse named Gronkowski was racing. So I knew about horses. I didn't know him like that. So then they hit me up and they're like, hey, we want you to be a part of it and everything. So then that's when I became a part of it. I saw this horse winning races, you know, and I was like, oh, this horse is winning. They hit me up. Like, why wouldn't I be a part of it? It's not like some horse they just named that's in the backyard and its name's Gronkowski. Like, this horse was winning races. Like, and he was about to compete in at the Kentucky Derby, at the Belmont race and everything. So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely get involved. Let me learn a little bit about horses and everything. So that's how I got involved, is through that way, is that they hit me up about the horse that was winning all these races. And then I went to the Belmont race, and the horse Gronkowski, you know, took off terribly. This was terrible. He was in last place and all of a sudden just took off and almost took it all. He took second place and almost beat that one horse that was just winning it all that year. I don't know the name of the one that won it, but almost took first place by like that much. If he got a good start at the beginning, he would have definitely won. But that's how I got involved. And let me tell you, that race was exciting. Like, at first I was like hiding, like, man, all eyes were on my horse, like Gronkowski. I was like, this is bad. Like, he's in last place by far. The worst takeoff I've ever seen. Then all of a sudden, by the end of the race, like, my heart was joining. I was going crazy. Second place, just jumping up and down. I took home some cake.
I love it. I love it.
Is the horse still running?
No, I don't think so.
It's in a pond somewhere.
Yeah, he's a good horse, though. He's a good horse. I love him.
Gronk, as you get ready for this year, your thoughts, would you definitely coming back?
Oh, I'm coming back. I just signed with the Bucks for a year, for another year. And I'll just take 1 year at a time in the NFL. You know, you control your own destiny. I feel like I'm in that position now where, you know, a long-term contract don't even matter. Like, I can just do 1 year at a time. And I'll be back this year for sure.
Two more. Himino Franco asked, how do you balance your work and your personal life so that you feel fulfilled on both ends?
Yes, that's a great question, for sure. I would say that, you know, one takes care of the other for sure. Like, if my work's going good, my personal life is going good too. I would say that, you know, what you're doing in your personal life can definitely affect your work life too. You know, you live and learn, you know, to how to balance everything out. You know, if you're doing well at your work life and just taking care of everything that you need to while at work, then you can just, once you get out, you can just, you know, be free-minded. So that's one thing, is that I like to keep, you know, my body in shape. That's kind of how I do it, is because I work, you know, with my body. I use my body because I'm an athlete. So I make sure that I'm in shape. Like, when I'm at work, I do the right things. I actually get the right conditioning in, that I staying in shape, because when I'm not in shape and I'm not doing so well at work, you know, you bring it home to your personal life. You're not feeling good, then you can affect your personal life. So I just always make sure that I'm in good shape. You know, I don't lose it. You know, I don't take off too long, because when I've done that before, ruin my body, you know, not do the right things, my personal life is just not fulfilling at all, because I know my work life is just a mess at the moment. So just always stay on top of it. And once you get to the top, it's really easy to maintain. And then you can just maintain there. You can maintain your conditioning, maintain your skill sets, set aside, you know, 3-4 hours a day to keep those skill sets. And then you can basically do whatever you want for the rest of the day and have a good balance.
Staying on the happiness side, Olivia Daly asked, what's your most memorable game or moment, high school, college, or pro?
I would say It was in college. I mean, I got a memorable game for every level for sure. But I'll go with this one because it involved my brother Chris, and he was my roommate at the University of Arizona. And we were playing Oregon, and we were down like 35-7. They were like number 3 in the country at the moment. But my brother Chris and we just went off. I had like 12 catches for like 140 and a touchdown. Chris had like 5 catches for like 100 yards and a touchdown. And we brought the game back. It was 35-32. We brought it right back. Like it was an amazing comeback. And we ended up losing the game, though. We were on a final drive, and we were about to, it was 4th and 2, and we just didn't complete that conversion on 4th and 2. But if we did, we would have been still steamrolling in and took the game home. But just the atmosphere, like that was the first time where I felt like, whoa, like that was college football. Like that was unbelievable. That was rocking. The stadium was rocking. My brother and we were out on the field rocking. We were down at first. Like we came out slow. Then all of a sudden in the end of the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, we just made a crazy comeback. And even though we didn't win the game, it was just so memorable from just, the feeling just overall. It just felt like you were living just in that type of atmosphere in Oregon. It was wild, but if we won the game, then it would have just been even more crazy.
Lastly, Gronk, as the last year is, all the little things we took for granted, being able to go to games, not have to wear a mask, is when you look back on playing this year without the fans, did you get a greater appreciation how playing in packed stadiums, how you took it for granted and what it meant to you as a player?
Oh, big time, man. Big time. It's crazy when it gets taken away from you, how much you really take it for granted. And but now you just appreciate it that much more. It's kind of like coming back from an injury. Like, when you get it taken away from you, that's the motivation to get back, is that because you get taken away from you, you're like, whoa, man, like that's crazy. That feels so much better to be playing. But same with the fans. Let me tell you, it was weird at first. Like, you drop a pin, like when the players weren't playing out in the field, and you would be able to hear it. Like it was dead silent at times, and it was weird for a couple games. We probably had about 5 games where there was totally no fans, and it was definitely weird. It was a weird atmosphere at first. By the end of it, you got used to it. But like the first 3 games, it was really weird, and you just appreciated just having fans that much more. To the point where when there was 5,000 fans let in the game, it was like it was a sold out stadium. It was like it made you more pumped up. You got the feeling of the atmosphere a lot better. And it was just a lot better when there's fans in stands, and you appreciate it that much more, just how much fans bring to the game of football and to sports overall.
It's great, Gronk. We weren't allowed to have fans at all this year in hockey, at anything, basketball. And when you sit in the arena, it's like you're back at the, when you're a kid just playing in the playground. And,
it feels like a scrimmage sometimes in the backyard.
And, you really feel for our student athletes who had to go through that. That's a question we had that you can give to our student athletes is, as Brett, his daughter's coming to PC as a soccer player, they had a whole year taken away from them, that you can't get back. But what's the positive that you can take out of it, Gronk, that you say focus on that instead of the negative?
Oh, wow. To miss a whole year from the pandemic. I would just say that, when you get a year taken away from you, is just how much more you appreciate it then. So if you were a freshman, I would say that, you got that freshman year taken away from you, or a sophomore, that you got to appreciate those final 2 years even more. Enjoy those 2 years even more that you got left, because now what it's like to have it taken away from you. And you probably struggle a little bit because you don't know what to do. You're always in a routine. You got your teammates are the people you bond with. That's the organization that you're involved with, and it keeps you busy and everything. So I would just say appreciate the years that you're going to have even more, be fulfilled with those years even more, and just enjoy them to the max, because when it's done, it's done. Like, you're not going to have those teams, those memories throughout your whole life. So just enjoy them as much as you possibly can from here on out.
I always talk to my team about relationships, and Brett, I want to go to you. You've been a great friend, and watching your relationship with Gronk over the years, it really inspires me it's all about people. And can you give the fans a little bit about how it's great when I see someone who's had so much success still keep it real, and you guys have been the same for 10 years. What can you just say about Gronk that inspires you?
That's a great question, because I was listening to you guys talk earlier, and what's gotten him through and how strong. And I seen him get hurt through the 10 years. I mean, it's been 10 years, right?
Yeah, it's been
3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the most impressive thing is his attitude and his mindset. He never got down on himself. He kept fighting. He said, pause. I go over there. His leg was in an air cast. I go, how you doing? He said, I'm doing great. Never like a bad day. Never got hard on himself. And that's what earlier when you say that, that he has that, never got hard on, down on himself, but never got really high on himself either. He always kept that even killing. I've met a lot of ball players over here, and he's probably by far the best example of just a real person, works hard, dedicated, the way he was raised, everything. It's a whole package.
Brett, that's so well said, because I want to end on this with Gronk is I love to look at life in the positive manner, because you can always find a negative aspect to anything.
Oh, anything.
So,
I can find one right now in the Super Bowl win that I got tackled.
But Gronk, this has been amazing, because this is for our students, our faculty, our alumni, our season ticket holders. And what I want to end on is, what's that one thing that you always stay is that positivity factor you have? I just love being around you. You light people up. How can you say to our Friar family is focus on that, because it really makes life so much better?
Yes, it does. You got to focus on that positivity for sure. There's a lot of things out there, even in the news, wherever. It's just, there's so many different aspects that are coming at you that it's just a lot of negativity. And when you're around a lot of negativity, it can rub off on you. So just find people around you that are positive, that are great influences on you, that want to be successful too. Not just that person that's just always trying to bring you down to do something that, that really isn't influential in the world. There's always times and places for that, but you want to surround yourself with people that have the same attitude, that have goals, that want to be successful in life, that want to help out others, that want to do their part in this society. So it's great to be around people like that, because that helps you out big time too. Because there are times when I go down, but then I look around, like I go in my locker room and, everyone's, ready to go for practice. And I'm sitting there like, man, I'm not really feeling it. But by the time I'm out at practice, you get going and you just see all the other guys with a great attitude just running out there ready to go. It wears off on you. So it's good to surround yourself with a great team too, because there's not anything that you can really accomplish by yourself in this world. You always need other people. You need help. You need a team, no matter what it is. Even if it's tennis, well, guess what? That tennis person, they have a team around them. They have a coach. They have someone in the background that maybe you don't know, you don't see, but there's always a team that's involved. So surround yourself with a great team that wants, similar goals just like you.
Well, it keeps it fun though, I mean, that's his biggest ingredients. I mean, when he was in the locker room here, and I heard down in Tampa Bay, I know players there, and Tom Brady's serious about getting the job, focused, but Gronk's a leader in the locker room and makes things fun. He keeps everybody relaxed and having fun. You can be successful having fun at the same time, being positive. I think with those two ingredients that he has, he's been very successful with it,
Yeah, got to keep it fun. And my family's done that a lot too. My brothers, whenever we get around each other, we get stuff done. Like we can work out, we can get a great workout in, but like we're just still having fun at the same time. We're cracking jokes in between sets. And it's, for example, for games, like when I played hockey, like you're always talking garbage to the other team. Like that's just a hockey mindset. Like hockey's a very, garbage talking sport, I feel like. And when you're in that moment, you're talking garbage and you're having fun with it. That's what it's all about. That keeps you loose and keeps you going. So even just talking garbage and making it fun gets your mind going and gets you ready.
Well, as you said, you can't accomplish anything without great teammates, and you never want to celebrate alone, and you want to be able to enjoy it.
Yes.
Now, Gronk, we know the last answer you have to give us is you're picking a school to play Division I hockey. Where you going?
Yes, Providence, baby.
Amen, my man.
Providence.
Amen.
I would have went to the University of Buffalo, but for some reason, because I'm from Buffalo, so some reason they don't have a hockey team. Why would they not? But screw that. I'm going to Providence.
Well, on behalf of Friartown, Brett, Gronk, I can't thank you enough. You guys are full-time members of the Fryer family now. This has been awesome for everyone. Brett, appreciate you helping
thanks,
get this
Nap.
down.
You
And
kidding me?
Gronk, we wish you nothing but the best. And really, you inspire of all of us to enjoy life, be better, and enjoy every day.
Yes, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, go Friars. Have a great
Yes.
one, guys.
Go
Thank you to the
Friars.
Fryer family. Gronk's been also very generous with Brett's help that we're going to be auctioning off a Gronk Tampa Bay Super Bowl jersey
This is rare.
with Go Friars on it. So we'll have that going online. We hope we get a lot of bids. That'll go to support the women's soccer team at Providence College with Brett's daughter going there in the fall and our emergency support to help students who are struggling to stay at PC. So stay safe. Thank you, Gronk. Thank you, Brett. Go Friars.
Thank you.
Let's go.